Hello, this is Woody Collins, and thank you for coming by today. Want you to have a seat, make yourself comfortable, and join us in talking about the Congo. We do this every day at 3 o'clock, so please join us. Today's subject, we're going to be talking about creating the better world. And also, I will talk a little bit about Ashley Judd's accident in the Congo, an unfortunate thing that happened to her. So, let's talk about creating the better world. For me and for Congo Helping Hands, we are here in the Congo. That's where we work. And we're looking to create the better Congo. There is our part of the world, and so therefore we want to start in that part of the world, making it better, better for the poor people in the rural areas and solving their problem. So, what are the problems for the rural people that's affecting the rural poor that they need to help in solving? Number one is food security. Food security is not knowing where you're going to get your next meal from, whether you're going to have a next meal. This also deals with only having one meal a day, not by choice, but by uh, that's the circumstances you live in. Also, you have to think about safe water. Safe water, not only that is close by, that you don't have to walk miles to get, but also safe water that will not make you sick. So it got to be safe, free from any type of bacteria, viruses, or things like that. And finally, uh, basic health care. We need to look at how they are when people get sick or have an accident, how is available and readily and adequacy of health care. So back to food security. That's going to be the project that we're going to be starting off with the farm project. It will address their food insecurity. And what our basic goal is to be making food more available. Uh, as I talked about yesterday, there is another Ebola epidemic, and we know that eating bush meat is one of the causes of these Ebola epidemics. So therefore, we need to produce more domestic food products, especially meats and stuff like that, which is the source of that. Water. There's people that die from cholera, typhoid fever every year because they don't have adequate water supplies. Uh, if we want to be able to give water to the thirsty, that water needs to be safe to drink and will not cause them to be sick because it's not worth it to make them sick when they are thirsty. Um, and also because if they are malnourished, that will have a detrimental effect on them when you add in introducing poor water to a sick person. Many people have died when they came down with cholera because they didn't realize they needed to boil the water and they continued drinking the water, so they made their condition even worse. And finally, we let's talk about healthcare. Healthcare needs to be reasonably close. Congo has set up a system with health zones. Those health zones is was originally set up to cover about 100,000 to 150,000 people. Some of them are large geographical areas, meaning to say they're sparsely populated, so they're bigger. And some of them within towns, larger towns, there may be two or three health zones that take care of the people where out in the country you only have one large health zone, and that health zone in the rural area creates a problem of access. You may have to walk miles to a clinic, and then that clinic may not have the necessary equipment and medicines for you, and going to the reference hospital may be a deadly trip. I've seen it, especially up in Bulape, people dying on the way to the hospital because they were either carried on bicycles, carried on stretchers, and they just did not make it. So we're going to be working on those problems of food security, safe water, and basic health care to help the poor people, because that is their, I think, is their main three problems that we are going to be trying to address. Uh, the the next topic, let's talk about Ashley Judd. She was in Congo and she had an accident. She had an accident in one of the remote areas where the bonobo uh, uh, apes, I guess they're ape primates are located at, and she was out there and she broke her leg in 4 places. And uh, number one, breaking your leg in 4 places is serious enough, but due to the remoteness of that location, it became a race against all odds to try to get her to some place that could take care of it. If you read the article that was posted, or you can Google it, that she spent hours, 2 or 3 hours, just waiting for somebody to come to see about trying to reset it and transporting her to the the location that could be that they can work on it. So the remoteness of the health facilities is a problem, and that's one of the problems in the rural areas. There, you got a large area that's sparsely populated, so you don't have health centers available close by. So they took on a stretcher. Took I think about 5 hours to get her to the health center. At the health center, of course, they couldn't do anything. They don't have the equipment to operate on it, so they had to send her on to a hospital somewhere, and that took. She had to ride on a motorcycle and hold her leg while one was driving and one was uh, holding her. And that was the transportation. So transportation is bad because you're out in an area where there's only footpaths, and so the only way you can go is by moto. And lastly, once you talk about the adequacy of the health hospitals and stuff. I'm not sure that she went to a hospital, but I think they just knew that she needed to get to Kinshasa, and which is the capital city. And when she got to the capital city, approximately almost 20 hours later, they found out they couldn't do any work, could not help her. And so she had to wait to catch a plane to go to South Africa. And so that's where she ended up in South Africa to get taken care of, because at the hospitals and different health clinics, they don't have adequately trained people for that type of surgery, and also they don't have the equipment. Uh, so that's kind of give you a real life case that just happened, and I'm glad that she came out and she has talked about that. Is that not only her privilege as having money and having the people supporting her, that she was able to get out alive. So I'd like to thank you all for stopping by today. Please come back again, and we're going to have another conversation on tomorrow at 3 o'clock. So thank you very much, and we will talk with you later.